Hello, y'all. Welcome to Jackalope Tales, Urban Legends and Music, where we uncover, is it real or is it a jackalope tale? I'm your host, Charles Mooney.
And I'm Lisa Umbarger. And also with us today are our tiny production crew, Jenny.
Hello.
And on the board, a guy who was one toke over the line, Sam.
Always over the line.
So, Charles, have you ever been arrested?
No, I have not. I haven't got to experience that aspect. I'm too goody-goody.
Same. I've had a couple of close calls, like the Axis. Remember the Axis where
Oh, yeah.
I had an altercation with the cops?
God, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you made me nervous the way you would sometimes
taunt
act
police
with the cops. I know, because I'd be like, well, we're about to see Lisa leave.
I got a wee bit crazy when they unplugged my amp. And I thought they were going to destroy my head, the amp.
Yes.
And so I got mad and I was like, bitch, you're paying for this. Got all up in the cop's face. It was like, it wasn't good. So.
See, I know. I just remember you yelling slanders at them as they would be standing up, because they would always try to come by the club, see just if anyone was drinking underage.
Yep.
Or if there were too many people in the club. Boy, we were harassed.
It was.
But yeah, I would cry so bad once they put the handcuffs on me. I wouldn't even have to get to jail to start crying. I would cry right there.
Right. So we're going to talk about some musicians who weren't as lucky as we were. So who are you going to talk about?
They crossed over the line. I know this is going to surprise you, but I'm going to talk about good old Axl Rose.
And I'm going to talk about Paul McCartney. So it's going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah. Now, of course, not just arrested, but arrested outside the U.S.
Yes.
So that's what we're focusing on.
Right.
And nothing scarier than being arrested outside the U.S.
Right. It was probably scary enough inside the U.S., but outside the U.S. where you don't know.
What is the law? What's the protocol?
Right, because it's a little bit different. And
God.
Let's just get real. If you're famous in the United States or if you're rich, get off.
Yeah.
Period. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. I know, but because I don't know of those other rules, I don't even leave Texas. So
well, you might want to leave Texas because did you see on Facebook that, I guess now it's safer. There was someone who was called the Butthole Tickler that was recently arrested in Dallas. Did you hear about this?
I did see this on Facebook.
It was a breaking news headline.
Yes.
That the Butthole Tickler was arrested. And I didn't even know there was a Butthole Tickler.
No.
So there were dozens of victims.
Yeah.
And people were so afraid they started sleeping on their backs. What the hell?
Oh my God. You know you're having an impact when you make someone change the way they sleep.
Right. Because they didn't want to expose their little...
Yeah. Now, did it matter to this person whether it was a man or a woman?
He only assaulted men.
Oh, no.
And the police theorized that it was a homeless person.
Okay.
For the longest time.
Yeah.
And when they arrested the man, they were like, oh, he's not homeless. He was wearing like $4,000 worth of clothes. He's wearing like Yeezy sneakers and like crazy expensive clothes. And they're like, he's not homeless. This guy's, he's got it.
Yeah.
He's got a little something going on.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard when they caught him, they knew they had him because of the way his fingers smelled. So that's what I saw in the article. But,
So Dallas is safer.
Yes.
Now that this, the Butthole Tickler is behind.
People are sleeping on their stomachs again.
And I like that it was an attack on the patriarchy.
Yes.
He went after the men. And can you imagine these old guys like Dad Bod Bob is laying on his back. He's like, I can't roll over, Marge.
I know.
I'm snoring, but I don't want to protect my bunghole.
You got all these men checking the windows, making sure back doors are locked.
I will say on behalf of the the production team, we do not encourage non-consensual butthole tickling.
Always consensual. Yeah.
Always. It's just so hilarious. To
Not
know.
just consensual, enthusiastic consent.
I'm guessing that probably some of the guys on the block liked it.
It's almost like the houses where he sees the windows open. There.
Like, I'm just going to leave this unlocked.
Yeah, let's just leave this open a little crack.
Going to put a feather on the windowsill to know that we're friendly.
Like the Easter bunny basket next to the bed.
God.
Oh, you're just inviting trouble. Oh.
Is he one of the Batman? Batman. The Batman.
The Buttman?
The Buttman.
Batman
He's
and
a Batman.
Robin.
The Batman villain. The butthole tickler.
Oh, God, that would be great. With the two fingers always up.
Right. So he's chasing Robin.
Oh,
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk about musicians.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Maybe he played an instrument.
You want to go first?
I'll go first on this one. So, good old Axl Rose. He is such an innocent human being.
He's a good little lad.
Nice little guy. But in 2006, Guns N' Roses was performing in Stockholm, Sweden. And Axl Rose was involved in a brawl at the hotel that they were staying at. And it was the morning after the show.
Okay.
So it wasn't even the show where he got in trouble like he usually does. But the fact that Axl got into a fight, yeah, that's not a big deal. Because, I mean, everyone expects it with Axl.
Yep.
He's a dick. But in this instance, he bit a security guard during the brawl and ended up being put in jail in Stockholm, Sweden.
What?
But I know. The security guard, it was at the Burns Hotel. And
Mr. Burns?
Well, it's Berns,
Okay.
but yeah, Mr. Burns Hotel. And it was his fourth day of working there at the hotel.
Oh, no.
Poor guy. I know. The guard stated that he saw Axl come back to the hotel after the show, and Axl just went up to his room. Mm-hmm. And then Axl came back down to the lobby of the hotel, and at that point, he was with an older woman who was kind of like a tour coordinator for the band.
Okay.
Well,
So it wasn't a groupie.
No. This is kind of getting to very early morning, like 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
Okay.
And Axl starts yelling and screaming in the lobby. The guard, he was saying that Axl was pissed off because people had left him alone at a party. Now, Axl was loaded. I mean, he was blitzed in the head. He'd been drinking a ton. He was in a bad mood, and he was cussing at that woman that was with him. And then Axl started banging on the walls, and the guard stepped in, just trying to keep things calm.
Right. Chill
He's
out,
doing
dude.
good. He's doing good. He stepped in, and he asked Axl to lower his voice.
Okay.
Well, Axl then turned around and shoved the guard to the ground and then jumped on him and started fighting.
Wow.
I know. Well, I mean, remember, he's totally drunk. And probably the thing that would really set him off is telling him to quiet down.
Right.
They wrestled for about a minute. And while he had Axl on the ground, because he flipped him over and had him down he had his arm on his neck. Well, Axl bit him in the arm.
Oh, shit.
I mean, what a little just cheap ass move.
He's like flopping around on the floor like a fish.
And he's like, he can't get a swing in, so he just wants to start biting.
Like a 2-year-old.
Yes, exactly. Now, it was stated, remember, that Axl was heavily intoxicated, but he started screaming after he bit the guard, I'm Count Rose, I'll fucking bite you.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So now if you didn't know this about Axl, he is a big fan of The Vampire Slayer and the Vampire books by Anne Rice.
Oh, God. Okay.
And I don't know, maybe he thought since he was in Sweden, where he maybe thinks vampires are from, but he seemed
As
to
opposed
kind
to
of...
Transylvania. He's like, it's close enough, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. So he kind of seemed to take on this whole vampire persona. And police even stated that while he was in his jail cell, because they showed up after he wouldn't calm down, and he was basically on the floor biting, they got him and arrested him. They were going to interview him, but he was too out of it to even really make sense, because here he is acting like some Count Rose.
Right.
So they said that while he was in his jail cell, he was yelling about how there's too much light in the cell. And so to fight the light, he hid under his mattress. And now, of course, the police are like, God, this is Axl Rose. We need to be checking on him and trying to get this thing all calmed down.
Make sure he doesn't choke on his own vomit.
Yeah, right. When the police would check on him, he'd kind of lift the edge of the mattress like a coffin and just leer at them. And then he'd be mumbling how he needed blood to live. And it was even as bad as when they tried to feed him some breakfast and give him some water. He was refusing, stating he smelled garlic and how he wasn't going to drink any fucking Swedish holy water. So the kind of vampire thing did end up going away once he kind of sobered up. They did interview him. They ended up letting him go on bail. And he had to pay for the hotel damages and no other jail time, just basically getting him to sober up in his cell.
They were nice to him because that security guard might have gotten rabies.
Oh, he would. I mean, when you're being bitten by a vampire, yeah, a lot could happen. But he actually you're right, he expressed he was nervous about like... Axl having a disease or something where he was like, my God, this is an insane rock star.
Right.
They could be diseased.
I don't know where he's been.
Yeah, that's right. You don't know what the guy's been around and
right.
What else has he bitten? So,
God.
Bitten buttholes. I don't know.
I know. No, you just tickled those. Or he is one. He is a butthole.
Oh, God,
Maybe
is.
the guard should have tickled him.
Yeah, right. And do you remember we even got to see Guns N' Roses open for the Cult?
Yeah.
At the Bronco Bowl.
Yep. We were right on the barricade.
And that was right when Appetite came out. So he didn't pull any of his stupid shenanigans. He showed up for the show and played and left.
Well, that was because no one knew who they were then.
No, they didn't know yet. The only thing I remember about him is he was wearing a Sid and Nancy shirt.
Yep, I thought that was cool too.
That was cool.
They were great.
Yeah, but then fame went to his head and he became a vampire dick.
He's a little ball of hate.
Yeah. Those gingers, I'm telling you. What do you have on this?
I got the very notorious Paul McCartney.
Oh, I know it pains you to talk about a Beatle.
I know because, I mean, he's,
Yeah.
He's Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
So this is from January of 1980. And it was all over the news then. I remember it. Paul McCartney arrived in a Tokyo airport with his wife.
And that was Linda back then.
Yep. His wife, and it would have been okay if he also wasn't traveling with his half a pound of weed. To begin,
he couldn't have left it at home.
Right. And so a custom agent found the weed.
Oh, God.
And it was pretty easy. It's a half a pound of weed. So it's not like half a pound. And he said, this is for my personal usage. I'm not trying to distribute. And everyone's like, yeah, sure. But then he's like, yeah, knowing who Paul is, it probably was.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah,
anyway,
true.
So that began Paul's adventure in a Japanese jail with the possibility of 7 years of hard labor.
Wow.
7 years.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You don't know how those other countries and their jail stuff works.
Right.
Oh,
and the
my
Japanese do not like to lose face. And even though he was famous, they did not want to. In fact, the customs agent was embarrassed that it happened to him.
Oh.
But he had to do his duty. So one might feel sorry for Paul, but this was not his first time. He had been busted 3 times prior to Tokyo.
Oh, my God.
At least 3 times. So in 1972, he tried to smuggle hashish into Sweden. Speaking of Sweden.
The poor Swedes.
I know.
Yeah.
And that same year, he was arrested for pot in Scotland. And a year later, he was popped for growing cannabis on his Highland farm.
Wow.
So, he's just like, whatever, I'm Paul McCartney. I'm a Beatle. I've got pot.
Yeah, he kind of felt untouchable, didn't he?
Yeah, your laws don't apply to me.
I'm a Beatle.
So while behind bars, Paul impressed guards with his politeness. But behind was a scared man who barely slept. And he recalls the story. He's told it many times. He was scared, and for the first 3 days, he didn't sleep and was freaked out.
Yeah.
On the 4th day, his wife, Linda, got to visit him and brought him a cheese sandwich.
Oh, God.
I mean, couldn't she, get him some sushi? Give him something good. Cheese sandwich?
Yeah,
I mean, Paul fucking McCartney.
That's
Get him
a step below prison food, I
right.
think.
I mean, they probably are serving up some good shit there. Some
She probably didn't even cut the crust off.
I know, or biscuits, and get them some biscuits. But they're probably have little dumplings and rice and probably some delicious food. And she's bringing them a cheese sandwich.
Oh my God!
Anyway, so
not even grilled.
Right. But on the 9th day, the Japanese government showed mercy, and Paul was deported.
Okay.
This is it's odd because they held him for that long because obviously they did not want to lose face, but it was getting so much attention that they felt they felt like they had to let him go.
They were obligated.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to stir everything up because the world would be angry a Beatle is in their jail.
Yep.
Oh,
but Paul has said in interviews that the main reason why he was released is because of his celebrity. And I have to agree. But there's an interesting story about how customs knew that he was traveling with the large bag of dank weed.
Oh.
Because usually they, if you're famous and you're coming in, like these guys, you have a different level of security and they don't really
exactly. They don't want you to mingle you in with all the common folk.
You go right through customs. No one fucks with you. Nothing happens.
Right.
Well, here's the story.
Yeah.
Prior to the Wings tour, Paul McCartney was in L.A., and he called John Lennon. And he said that he and Linda were going to be in New York, and they wanted to come and hang.
Okay.
With John. Hang out. And they hadn't talked in a long time.
Okay.
And he wanted to share some of this really dynamite weed that he had scored.
Oh, no.
And he told John, he was like, I got to share some of this. I got a lot.
Yeah.
It's great. So Yoko intercepted the call.
Oh, about Paul telling John about the weed?
Yeah. Because she interfered with their relationship a lot.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was her that worked on getting John off of drug addiction.
Drugs, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Paul had shared with Yoko when he was on the phone with her that he and Linda had booked the presidential suite at a hotel, Akura. And this hotel is where Yoko and John stayed when they went to Japan. When they went to Tokyo.
Okay.
And John agrees with this, with Yoko, that they were ruining their karma of that room, and they really didn't want them to stay in that room.
Ah.
Isn't that kind of weird?
That is, but I could see Yoko kind of instant karma.
Right.
I mean,
don't ruin my hotel karma.
Yeah.
So Yoko used her influence, or possibly she threatened to sing. I don't know. Because if you heard her sing, it's not that good.
Oh, my God. Yes, I have.
But she tipped off the customs department as to the contents of Paul's suitcase.
Wow.
And
she
snitched.
Like,
look by the underwear and socks. But the arrest led to the breakup of Wings. So they never did play after that.
Oh, wow.
Which, by the way, I really like Wings. I don't like the Beatles, but I like Wings. Is that weird?
Wow. Yeah, that is kind of weird. I don't
like
know how that
Wings.
happened.
It's weird.
Jet is a great fucking song.
Band on the Run? Oh.
No, I mean that's okay. Jet, man, that song, I love that song. Anyway, so yes.
Yeah, I know, Jet.
So they felt like Wings was devaluing the Beatles' legacy. Plus, everyone had started figuring out that Linda was a horrible musician and singer, almost as bad as Yoko.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah. So Paul used his 9 days of incarceration to think about his poor decisions, although he didn't seem to learn much because he was arrested for drugs 2 more times in 1985.
Oh, God. He just couldn't let it go when he went on vacation or went out of the country.
He's like, yo, I'm in Scotland. Give me the weed. Yo, whatever. I'm Paul McCartney. I have weed.
Are you suffering from high-quality podcasts? You see, quality podcasts stimulate parts of your brain, leading to an irksome condition called thinking. But suffer no more, my friend. Introducing Discount Storytime's blend of fictional nonsense and rancid gibberish to provide soothing relief. Try Discount Storytime today. Available on most podcast catchers and at discountstorytime.com.
Consult your healthcare provider before listening to Discount Storytime. Not intended to treat unicyclitis, pickleball liver, or jittering expectations.
yeah, it's like, Linda, I won't get caught this time. I know how to hide it. Oh, God.
Here, you be my mule, Linda. Anyway, so I like making fun of Paul.
Yeah.
But I remember when this was happening, that if I remember in my little kid head, I was in middle school. I was in middle school when it happened.
Yeah.
And people were very, very afraid that this beloved musician was going to stay in jail for 7 years because the government was not budging.
No, and
in my memory,
I can kind of remember that too. You're exactly right. It was almost like a countdown of how many days Paul's been in jail.
Yeah,
because I think I was about 12 when this was going on,
and it seemed like he was in jail much longer because it was such a big thing.
Yes, yeah,
and they had coverage of when he was released.
Yeah. And I remember them freaking because, I mean, it's like none of the other countries could really do anything.
Right.
They were just at the mercy of whatever Japan wanted
right.
to do.
And I know that diplomats from the UK and I think from the United States as well were over there trying to negotiate his release. Oh. But everyone was totally freaked out. And I remember that it was pretty much a done deal. No, he was going to be in jail for 7 years.
Wow. Yeah.
And people were totally freaked out because they were like, oh, my God, we don't have music for 7 years. I was like, go and listen to something else. There's other good music.
And Paul McCartney having to do hard labor.
I know. Can you imagine? Like, what is hard labor over there? I wonder.
Maybe having to hear Linda by herself sing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You have to listen to this Yoko
Yeah,
album.
we're going to put her in the cell next to you while she sings. Man. I know. I remember those days. That was insane.
Yeah.
There we
Try
go.
tickling the butthole.
It worked.
Oh. It's a Lone Star Salute.
Yay. Got through another episode. Good information.
You know what? Here's a tip. If you're in jail, you should smuggle a kazoo in your butthole so you have something to do.
You can play it without even holding it in your hands.
That's how to tickle your butthole, a kazoo.
Yep, every fart lets out a sound.
Because if you play one, it tickles your lips. Have you done that?
Oh, yeah. No,
right.
I have both times. Oh,
man.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm going to continue to talk about Wings.
Okay.
And this is a 1-star review of Wings at the Speed of Sound. And this is by Anonymous.
Ah, okay.
And they're a Paul McCartney fan. And Anonymous says, what exactly is Paul McCartney doing at the speed of sound? Resting on his laurels, coasting along on the fading momentum of Band on the Run. shuffling around in circles, trying to figure out which direction he wants to go. It is an album made by a bored rock star. McCartney is a conundrum. He is the hardest working lazy artist in existence. Hey, I didn't write this.
No, that's great. That's great. The hardest working lazy guy.
The album is a parade of 3-minute mediocrities. At the Speed of Sound may be the most pivotal album in McCartney's discography. The album which he discovered he is okay with not trying very hard. The album set the bar low for most of the albums to follow for the next 40 years because he's continued to be the laziest musician in showbiz.
Wow.
There you go.
Oh, my God. To be the greatest lazy person.
I know, right? Who wouldn't want to do that?
I know. The older I get, the more I strive for
Jenny,
that.
Yeah. I know,
No,
right?
not Jenny.
Not Jenny, but yes, me. Let's do this.
I know. Now I've got a goal set.
Right.
Now I feel like I need to make a spreadsheet about who the most lazy people are and have the laziest people awards.
Rank them with their qualities.
It reminds me of when my son told me I was the meanest mom ever. And I was like, ooh, really? Out of all the moms in the whole world?
Right.
All of them? Is there going to be an award ceremony? Do I have to wear a dress? Do I have to give a speech?
Has he met Joan Crawford?
He has not.
I mean, does he have wire hangers?
No, I don't have any of them in my house. Big surprise.
No, there we are.
Well, we're giving you a 1-star salute for that.
Well, the one that I'm going to talk about, of course, I'm going to keep it in the realm of Axl Rose.
Okay.
It was very easy to find 1-stars about Axl Rose, not necessarily Guns N' Roses, but everything after that band broke up and he tried to make his own Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
So many 1-stars. But the thing that intrigued me the most was actually, I'm going to read this from Urban Dictionary.
Oh, no.
Someone has now used Axl Rose as a word. So the definition of Axl Rose, someone whose friends have left him because he has become too obnoxious and big-headed. And then he acts like he left the group and wasn't kicked out. He tries to build a new group to replace the old one, but with mediocre versions of the same people. And then, of course, they give examples of sentences. Look at that jackass with all the weirdos around him. Yeah, he used to hang with us till we Axl Rosed his ass. So that was created by someone named Dark Above.
Yes.
So if you kick someone out because they have a bad attitude and then they're claiming they just decided to leave, you Axl Rosed them.
Yeah, I think I want to Axl things.
It really is appealing.
Yeah.
To start putting that into your vernacular.
Yeah,
So.
I'm going to use it. I'm going to start using it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I know. Good job, Urban Dictionary, teaching me that slang.
Yep. So let's hear it. You guys need to start using it in sentences.
That's right. Let us know. It's kind of our code.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially use it around your parents.
Yeah, Axl Rose, my meatloaf. Oh,
I snorted.
man. Love talking about musicians arrested.
I know. Especially because we can kind of taunt them because we haven't been. Although, Mr. Police Officers, we cool. We cool.
Yeah.
We cool. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. When you're young and a musician, yeah, you can arrest them.
I don't yell at cops anymore like I used to when I was young.
Oh.
Because I was faster than them earlier on. I can't run as fast
You had
now.
those softball legs.
Yeah,
where
I was just like
you were ready to run and
sprinting,
yeah.
climb up light posts, and they can't catch me up there.
No, for you and me, they'd catch our ass real quick.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to be chased. I'll talk shit about them online.
You don't have to run when you're online.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Well, kids, what have we learned today? Don't break the law. Don't do drugs in Japan.
Yeah. Leave your weed at home.
Right. Leave your weed at home or pack it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's ways you can pack it where no one can smell it or find it or,
Right.
I mean,
And don't cause a scene at a hotel.
right.
I mean,
Don't bite. It's all of the things you learned before you went into kindergarten.
I know.
Your mom would tell you, are you packing some weed? Put that down, Timmy, and go to kindergarten or
oh, I know. If you keep
Preschool
biting,
without-
that teacher's going to send your
Right.
ass home.
yeah, you
So,
can't bite or take out your bag of weed. Mrs. Carpenter's going to be really mad.
Right. Don't take daddy's weed to school.
Oh man, these are not jackalope tales. These are very real. You can look at these many reputable news sources. Although some of the details of the way they're fleshed out have been told many ways. In fact, Paul McCartney's told the story a bunch of different ways, and I'm probably sure Axl has as well.
Oh, yeah. If he even remembers.
Because I know Paul has told the story on different talk shows, and then in his daughter's book, his daughter wrote a book about his life. He told it a little bit different, so
Yeah.
it changes in each incarnation.
Oh, yeah. And all you have to do with Axl Rose is just Google Axl is a dick. And I mean, tons and tons of articles come up about all he's done. So who knows
That guy.
what? I know.
It's going to cause me to try and smuggle weed into Japan. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and follow the links on our show notes to find us on all the socials.
Subscribe, rate, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and anywhere else you get your podcasts.
And join us next time as we question, is it real or is it a jackalope tale?
Always be cautious.
Meh.